Okay, now let's look at Palantir chart. We're on the daily time frame. We are coming up on this internal order block that was created June 6th of 2025. So this is when smart money grabbed their positions for the long term. They grabbed shares here. They pushed up, touched this historical resistance, came down and barely even touched it. Came close enough. They grabbed some more shares. And actually, you see, we didn't even lose the WTMA cloud. We wicked past it, didn't even touch this internal order block, and we shot up, retested historical resistance that turned into support, and we shot all the way up. So this internal order block pushed us from the high 128 all the way to 189, we'll just say 190. So it went up 48% from this internal order block that we're currently at right now, $61. So now we come in February 2026, and we're coming to the same internal order block. We actually have an inverse arc. Let's zoom in and see if we got that. We got an inverse arc. We have our lock candle, full body and wick, not touching our WTMA. We have our inverse arc right here. So the candle after that will be the candle that you would enter. Full body and wick, not touching. This is our lock candle. But the next confirmation we're looking for is to reclaim this 12. We're trying to reclaim this 12 cloud, and we want that to flip blue. Now, if you can see here, we didn't have an inverse arc right here, but we popped up, tested the 12 cloud, got rejected, came down, got our inverse arc, got another lock candle, full body and wick right here, but we just haven't reclaimed that 12 cloud. If you see, we tapped in here, they got their position. We know that because this is the order block from 2025, June 6, 2025. Also, we know that from our inverse arc. And right here, we see this is the 400 EMA. The reason why I like the 400 EMA because whenever a stock loses the 200 EMA, right here, this is our 200 cloud. This consists of the 200 WEMA, the 200 SMA, and the 200 EMA. So this is a wide range of 200 clouds right here, or the 200 moving average. We lost every form of the 200 moving average. So whenever a stock loses the 200 moving average, it typically will go towards the 400 moving average. So this is why I like this. This is like the another line of defense right here for deeper pullbacks. And as you can tell, we barely even tapped it. That's at 123.07. And this internal order block is so strong that we barely even touched this 400 EMA. We are pretty close. It did get down to 126. This is at 123, so just $3 off. This is why I'm liking also Palantir because they haven't been here since June 6th of 2025. They ran up as much as $208 and chopped, came down, and now we're revisiting this internal order block. Now, if we look at our VRVP right here, we can see this level right here where we closed at. The next level, if we get a nice push, will be right here at 139. If we can close there, and that's actually lining up with the 12 cloud right here. It's actually lining up with the 12 cloud right here. Let me put a line right here. It's actually lining up with this next node. And if we can push there, we can push to this historical resistance right here. And the bigger and darker the lines is, the more heavier the resistance. So we can see this line right here. It's a line, but it's not really that dark and really that big. So we can see that we can push through this pretty quick. We can hit here, we can push right to here. And if we look at the VRVP, once we pass here, the next node really is 144. before we hit right here at 148. And this is why I'm also liking Palantir, because they're revisiting an old internal order block where smart money bought their positions way back in 2025. Now, if we look on a weekly time frame, also lines up pretty well right here. This is close to 135. Last time we were 135. We'll say close at 134. This is June 30th of 2025. This is also on the weekly time frame. So that week of June 6th, let's just make a little mark. That's the last time we were here on a weekly time frame. If we go to the daily, you can also see that lines up with the last time, June 30th, right here. That also lines up with right here, coming up where the last time where they dipped back into this internal order block, or not dipped into it, but dipped near it, grabbed some more shares, because this internal order block was created at 128. And this was at, the internal order block was created at 128.13. And this came down to 128.51. So it didn't dip into it, but they got pretty close from buying more shares. They bought their shares here. Even on a weekly time frame, it shows us that they pushed us up. We came back down to test this historical resistance that turned into support. We came up. This is the same historical resistance that pushed us down for them to buy more shares. We got this internal order block, pushed up, pulled back. They bought more shares. That pushed us up. We tapped that historical resistance, chopped right here, popped up, and we went to 190. Came back down, tapped this historical resistance a few times. We chopped. We got our inverse arc. We got our floating candle, full body and wick not touching. We reclaimed our 12 cloud right here. We reclaim our 12 cloud right here. We got our inverse arc right here. Closed above the 12 cloud, turned blue. Got right here, full body awake, not touching the 12. Came down, tested the 12, chopped, and then we came back here. As you can see, this historical resistance, once we broke it, we chopped and came down to test it, make sure this level held. It held, turned into support, turned into support again, tapped it again, just to go all the way up here to 207. Now that we're back here, this is a perfect place to buy shares because, for one, we know this is where smart money got their shares at. And anytime you want to buy shares, you want to buy with the smart money. You want to buy with big money, hedge funds, billionaires. You want to buy with them because they're defending this position. As we can see, we wicked 1, 2, 3. We wicked 3 days where they could have pushed price down, but they didn't because they want to buy positions. Palantir is a good company. They're growing, and smart money want to get positions low. They don't want to buy up here. They don't want to buy up here. This is where they sold. As you can see right here, where these internal bearish order blocks, they sold. They pushed price all the way back down, came down and pushed back where they bought 8 months ago. And now they're accumulating their position right here. That's why we're chopping in this area. But the wolf chart is letting us know we got an inverse arc, letting us know that they want this to run. They're ready for this to run. They brought it down far enough. And all we waiting for is a reclaim of the 12 cloud. And we'll hit this resistance right here. And with enough momentum and enough volume, we're going to test this previous month low. But ultimately, they want to push it to here. They're going to reclaim the 12. And they want to push it right here to this 147 level. That's also testing the bottom of this WTMA cloud. And that's why I'm liking Palantir. As far as Palantir, from all-time highs, we are 34% down from all-time highs. So that's also another good reason and another good entry is to get into a top tier company is when you're down that much from all-time highs. We're down 25% year to date, and we're down 34% from all-time highs. So that's what you call a great discount on a great company. Now let's look at Microsoft. Currently, we're on the daily time frame. As you can see right here, we are trying to create an inverse arc right here. We actually probably did. We really zoom in. We really zoom in. We created an inverse arc. So right here, we got our floating candle, full body and wick not touching the WTMA. Now, if we look back, last time they were here at this historical support right here, that was April 28th, 2025. So we're almost coming up on a year that Microsoft was this price. There's no order block right here like Palantir, but we can tell the last time they were here was April 29th, 2025. From right here, Microsoft shot up all the way from 397 to 554. So if we go, they ran up 41%, in other words, $161 from this same point last year. There wasn't no order block right here. This is just historical resistance that turned into support. And now a year later, almost a year later, we are revisiting that same area where smart money bought right here and shot price up. And as you can tell on the daily time frame, we respected the 12. Wow. Shot up, got inside that WTMA, tested the 12 cloud, chopped up, chopped up, chopped up. If you notice one thing, we never lost that 12 cloud. We shot up right here, earnings. It was a gap up, gap down, came down, chopped, never lost the 12 cloud. We got an arc, lost the 12 cloud, regained the 12 cloud. This is what we call a double top because they revisit the same price, pull back here, came back, visited again, and pull back. And this is a swing bearish order block. You see how dark this red one is and how light this red one is? These are internal, and this is a swing. Meaning this one brought price all the way down. This is what took us down. And they just continued to sell here, brought it down, continued to sell here, continued to sell here. We lost the 200. We already got our arc. We lost our 12. We lost the 200 cloud. We eventually lost the WTMA. We even fell past the 400 EMA, this is what you say, not the last line of defense, but this is for deeper pullbacks. We even lost that, came all the way down. I mean, when you talk about Microsoft, they're a top tier company. And for you to be able to get a top tier company at this discount, they're down 17% year to date. And from their all-time highs, they're down 28%. In other words, $157 from their all-time high. Now let's look at them on a weekly time frame. Now on the weekly, we can see that we're testing the 200 cloud. The last time we tested the 200 cloud was April of 2025. So now we're seeing confluence here. The daily is also letting us know what the weekly is doing. The weekly, we are testing the 200 cloud. After that, we haven't tested the 200 cloud on Microsoft since 2023. Then it ran up, created an internal bullish order block. ran up again, pulled back to historical resistance that turned into historical support. We chopped, came down to test the 200 cloud. So smart money bought their position and ran it all the way up to $554. Tested the 12 cloud on the weekly, came back up, a double top. And when you see a double top, that means it's going to come down because price haven't been able to pass this level. We got our internal we got our internal bearish order block here. They sold, pushed it down. They want to sell more, push it all the way down. Now we're at the 200 again. And this is where you want to buy, is when smart money buys. They bought back here in April 2025. Now they're buying again at February of 2026. Whenever you buy a top tier company, this is where you want to buy, is at the 200 cloud, near bullish order block and historical support. Now, if we look at the VRBP, we can see that we're right here on this node. Now, if we lose this, we're just going to come down to 390. So currently we have 397. We can see them coming down another, just say $7. And to test this historical support is 387. So we can see them come down between another $7 to $10 before smart money, before we get an inverse arc on a weekly, and smart money is done buying their position just to push Microsoft back up to test these bearish order blocks. This is a perfect place to buy for the long term, and this is why I'm liking Microsoft at these levels. Now let's look at CrowdStrike. We are currently battling right here at this 400 EMA. Remember, this is another line after a deeper pullback after we lose the 200 cloud. You can see stocks come this 400 EMA, and sometimes we'll even lose the 400 EMA like we've seen in previous stocks. But right here, we're battling at this 400 EMA. We got us an inverse arc right here. Inverse arc, full body and wick, not touching. The next candle, we test the WTMA. And as you can tell, we never reclaimed that 12 cloud because it never switched blue. We got here, closed, never got a full body and wick closing above it. That's when you know we reclaim it, is when we get a full body and wick not touching the 12 cloud. That's when it can turn blue. But just because it closed here, that's why it's still red. Now, if we look right here, at this candle right here, even though it's a red candle, you can barely see it. Even though it's a red candle, we still closed above the 12 cloud. Full body and wick not touching, and that's what caused us to turn blue. Even this one, even though it's red, we still closed full body and wick over the 12 cloud to keep us blue. Here, we shot up and closed above the 12 cloud, but we never was able to close above it, full body and wick not touching it, to let us know that we dominated the 12. That's why we came back down, tested the WTMA and historical support, and we never been able to reclaim that 12 cloud. Now, if you look at this big red candle, we've been chopping. We just sold off, which was today. Now, if we look back, let's look at the last time CrowdStrike was at this area. The last time they tested this area was September 4th, 2025. They came down, tested the they came down, tested the 200 cloud, which was also historical support, and this shot us up to the next historical resistance to shoot us past the next historical resistance just to come down to test this to make sure it held. And as you can see, we tested the 12 cloud, we shot past the WTMA cloud, and we tested the top of this WTMA cloud. So you can see how the whole wolf chart talks to each other. Everything is confluent. It talks to each other. The last time we were here was September 4th, 2025. Now it's February 2026, and we are revisiting that same level. We actually lost that level. So let's see when the last time we were at this level. $330, $388. No, we can go back even till April, right here, April 23rd, 2025. The last time CrowdStrike was 388. And that was right after they created this internal order block. Smart Money bought their position. This is last year, the tariff trade. We created this internal order block. Smart Money bought their position. We shot up. They created this at 372. Last time we were here at 388 was 2 days later. We got here. We shot up right after. And we shot right up. So from this internal order block, they ran up 39%. In other words, $145. Now we can even bring it back to here because they did pull back to here. So let's bring it to right here. That's 21%, $80. So this internal order block is pretty strong. We came and we pushed up, broke historical resistance, came down, tested it, and pushed right back up to here. Let's look at how it respected the 12 cloud. Pushed up, tested the 12 cloud. We actually lost the 12 cloud. Came back up. We haven't reclaimed it. Came back. Let's get a little bit closer. We were chopping in this area. We seen we had an arc. Full body and wick not touching. This right here. We lost the 12 cloud. We closed right here. Broke up, closed right here. We never got a full body and wick not touching the 12 cloud. That's why we're still red. Even this candle here, we're touching the 12 cloud. Here, touching the 12, touching the 12, touching the 12, until we got to here. Full body and wick not touching the 12 cloud to help us make this turn blue. We rolled up, tested the 12 cloud, never lost it. Also testing the top of the WTMA cloud and chopped up, and we went all the way to 518. Now, as we can see on the daily, we are revisiting the same level from April 2025. We lost the 200. We even lost its historical support because we closed under it. Now let's look at the weekly. On the weekly, we are coming up on this internal order block that was created March of 2025, March 17, 2025. This is when this was created. Got an inverse arc deep into this internal order block, pushed us up, tested historical resistance that turned into support, popped right back up. Smart Money sold off. Because remember, they bought down here. They bought at $381 and they rode it all the way to $555. So when Smart Money is able to push a stock up like this, they're buying millions of shares, billions of dollars, millions of shares. They got their position, they got their profit, and they sold it off. Now we are revisiting the same area almost a year later. This was in March, and we are in February, almost to March. So we can see that they are coming back here. This is why this is also another good area to buy. We are buying with Smart Money. You always want to buy with Smart Money. You don't want to buy against Smart Money. They are defending this position. This is the first time it's coming down here on a weekly. So this is why we like CrowdStrike at these levels. Now, if we look at Palo Alto Networks, as you can see, we are in this internal order block right here that was created August of 2024. So this one is older than the last one that we've been looking at. This was created August 7th, 2024. Pushed us up, pushed us up. They tested the 200 cloud. But when they came back and tested this was the last time they was at this internal order block. They grabbed more positions April 7th, 2025, the tariff trade. Pushed us up and came down. What created a higher low, pushed us up. Smart money got their profit and they sold off here, pushed it down, sold off here, sold off here. And now we are revisiting the same area that we last time we revisited was April 8th, 2025. You can see it's a double stack internal order block, meaning they originally bought right here in May of 2024. They bought their position, then they bought again in August of 2024. So we have smart money stacked on each other. So that's just letting us know that this is a perfect place to buy because it's two internal order blocks they got to defend on top of another one, on top of a swing order block. So this is just letting us know smart money likes Palo Alto Networks in these areas at these prices. Last time that we came down here, we came down, we swept liquidity actually into another internal order block. If this internal order block wasn't here, we would have did a sell side liquidity sweep. We pretty much did, and we dipped right into the other internal order block. So there's smart money stacked on each other that they pretty much passed this one and dipped into halfway to this one. And this was April of 2025. Almost a year later, we are revisiting that same price. Now, once again, you want to buy with smart money and not against smart money. This is a perfect place to buy Palo Alto Networks. Now let's look at the weekly. Now on the weekly, look at this. We are retesting the 200 cloud. We almost at the bottom of it. Last time they even got close to it, and we could say this historical support right here at 143. Last time they were here was April 7th, 2025. So the weekly is letting us know on top of the daily that this is a good area to buy Palo Alto Networks. You are buying at a price where smart money will defend and where you would see the best return on your money. Now let's just see. They're currently down 17% year to date, but from all-time highs, they're down 33%, in other words, $76. So anytime you can get a top company down 33%, down 30% or more, it's a great time to buy. And you know you're buying with smart money, you're buying at an extreme discount, and you can't go wrong buying here. Now let's look at Amazon on a daily time frame. You can see that we're getting an inverse arc into this internal order block. We actually gotta let us zoom in a little bit. Let's kind of look a little bit deeper. So we got our inverse arc, but we want to wait for the next candle after that inverse arc is created. But we got our inverse arc, got our candle here. We pushed, we got a sell side liquidity sweep. Sell side pushed all the way to historical resistance. And we're trying to reclaim that 12. But let's look back. How far and how old is this internal order block? This internal order block was created May 23rd, 2025. This is when the last time smart money bought this position at this price. As you can see on a lot of these stocks, they are coming back from a year or 2 years ago of an internal order block retest. That's also super bullish because you know smart money, and if you buying shares, you're getting it at an extreme discount. Mm. You know you're getting at an extreme discount. This is and this internal order block was created inside the 200 cloud. You can see our WTMA getting that inverse arc as well. We got our 12 cloud crossing up the WTMA cloud. All bullish, all bullish. Now, this is the last time Amazon was even at this price, was May 23rd, 2025. We, we went past the 400 EMA, and if you look right here, we went past it, came down, wicked, tested it, and came down, did a sell side liquidity sweep, and went right back to the 400 EMA. So we closed at the 400 EMA, we tapped and wicked at historical resistance and at the top of this 12 cloud. So this is just letting us know that smart money is getting a position. They've been getting a position right here. They got position, they bought, accumulate. Once we get another candle, full body of wick, and continue this inverse arc, that's just letting us know they grabbed their position and they're ready to push this back up. Now, what you're seeing is all these companies are top tier in their industry. These are top tier companies. They're not going to stay down this long. So this is why we're seeing inverse arc, or some of them are creating an inverse arc, or they're trying to create one, is because smart money brought it down so much that they got their position already. They're ready to run it back up. February is one of the weakest months. We almost done with February, and they're trying to accumulate their position while they can too. They can't just buy billions of shares and millions of shares, billions of dollars all at once. They got to spread it out. They got to buy some this day, push it down, buy some. They got to buy some this day, push it down, buy. They can't just buy millions of shares one day. They got to spread it out. And that's why they create these internal order blocks. It's already letting us know that they bought back here. Once price came up, came back down, they're just going to buy again at this same area. Let's look at Amazon on the weekly. Here, right here. So hitting this historical resistance right now, trying to test this fair value gap. The last time we tapped it here, October 25, but that we were tapping it as support. Now let's look back the last time we were tapping it as resistance. Right here in May. We could say even, yeah, right here in May is the last time Amazon tapped this area as resistance. Came down, popped up, and tested it as support. So this is a perfect place to buy shares. We are buying with smart money and not against smart money. They are buying positions. If you look at this green candle, it overtook sellers. So this week, buyers overtook sellers last week. That's also bullish. We look at our VRVP right here. We see nothing right here. So once Amazon passes this 210 level, they can shoot all the way right to 222, easy. And this is on a weekly time frame. Go to the daily. Back to the daily, and we see the same thing. Once they pass this level, which is historical resistance, one here, here, and then we got a chop area right here. Once they really pass this historical resistance, they can shoot past right here. And that lines up with our WTMA, the liquidity area, this historical resistance line right here. So it's a lot of confluence right here letting us know this is where Amazon typically want to run to. And there's 223 level. There's 220 to 223 level right here. And that'll be able to test this 200 cloud. But first we have three lines of defense, which is historical resistance. And as you can see, they're thicker and they're darker. So we're not just going to blow past them. Might pass this one. We might use this previous week high as support. I mean, previous week high as resistance. If we pass that, we'll hit this, come back down, hit the next resistance, come back down to the test this resistance. If not, come test the previous week high, and then we'll be able to push up. This is also why this is another good area that I like Amazon at, because we can see smart money is buying here. The next one is Netflix. We can see we have a lot of selling pressure on Netflix. Internal bearish order block here, bearish order block here, bearish order block here, 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 here. They're selling Netflix due to the news and the deal with Warner Brother. So the last time Netflix was $78. And you got to remember this is after the stock split too, but it still all lines up the same. Last time Netflix was $78 was November of 2024. November 6th of 2024. This was the last time Netflix was this price. Was 2 years ago. This is the last time they were at this price before smart money kept pushing them up higher. And we know the run that Netflix had before the stock split. And just because it says $78 before the stock split, this will be $780. So from $780, they push it all the way to $1,300. But now after the stock split, it's $134. So $78 here. We could say this candle right here. That's November 7th, 2024. After they broke this historical resistance, they came and tapped it once, ran up, came, tapped it once, ran up. Tesla 200 went past the 200, deep into the 200, tested it again, ran all the way up to all-time highs. We got to this historical support. We lost that, and now we're in the same area that we were 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. This is another good place to buy Netflix. We don't have no internal order blocks or no swing order blocks. Just going off the last time they visited this price was almost 2 years ago. Now, if we lose this area right here, we could come to this $66 level. Now, this is historical support right here. Typically, stocks are a magnet to these areas right here. They are drawn to it. Let's go to the weekly. On the weekly, we see we are testing the 200 cloud. Let's see the last time Netflix tested the 200 cloud. Last time Netflix tested the 200 cloud. Right here. Last time they were at this 200 cloud was 2023. Other than that, they really haven't. Even if we go to November 2024 right here, yeah, we had a pullback right here. There's red candle on the weekly. Yeah, we had a pullback, but we didn't pull back this deep on the weekly time frame at the 200 cloud. So just knowing that, the last time they was even at this level was 2023 on the weekly. Not this level, but last time they tested the 200 cloud was 2023. Now, the last time they was at this price was November 4th, 2024. So price and area is different. Right now, we're at the 200 cloud. which is a place where smart money and hedge funds, billionaires like to buy shares at. If we lose this, we have all this room right here for them to defend this area. If we tend to come down to this level right here, this will be at this internal order block that was created August of 2024 at $63, 63.66. So let's put mark right here. We can see, even if we look at the VRVP, if we lose this level, currently right here, we're actually in like no node area right here. But if we lose this level, this node level at $76, we can come all the way down to $63. That's an internal order block on the weekly. Now let's see what that look like on the daily. That's coming past this historical support right here. Yeah, that's past this historical support only by $3. So not really that off. So if we pass this, we can dip right into this internal order block that's on the weekly time frame. But as far as buying shares, this is a great place to buy shares here. And if we pull back and test the bottom of this 200 cloud and the top of this internal order block, that's another place to nibble and buy some more shares. Netflix is a leader, and when you be able to buy a good company at this discount, is always a plus. They're down 17% year to date, but from all-time highs, they're down 41%, other words, $55. So that's also you getting a great discount on a great company. If y'all like this breakdown, like, comment, and subscribe, and y'all have a good one. If y'all like this breakdown, like, comment, and subscribe, y'all have a good one.